City of Trees looked at Parks and People, a program to fix the economy and heal the environment at the same time. Even with the best of intentions, not everything worked as planned. Here to help us understand how you tackle big issues like poverty and urban revitalization is Cherie Abbanat from MIT's Urban Studies and Planning Department. She teaches and she worked in New Orleans post-Katrina and Haiti after the earthquake. Cherie, welcome.
Thank you. Great to be here.
So you have been a consultant for organizations like Parks and People.
Right. It's a hard job. It's a hard job to be able to juggle big grants, people, and community and get the work done.
One thing we see in the film that didn't work was that they didn't include and involve the community in the planning phase. What kind of insider knowledge does the community bring, and how does that help?
You know, communities are different, so there's not just any one community. If you can begin to work alongside the community and work with the community, chances are you're going to learn as much as you hope to teach.
And from your work, where does that distrust come from?
You see these people coming in, they're getting huge grants, but you're not getting any of that money. So they're using your statistics, they're using your distress. If the community, time after time after time, doesn't see the benefit of that money that's flowing into a disaster area or distressed area, they're going to be a little upset because they're going to feel used. As I think one of the community leaders mentions, this community's been used and abused, and I think that was a really key moment in the film.
This community has been abused and used for so long. People were getting all this money to do stuff in Ward 8, but as soon as the money was gone, the program was gone. They just dropped us like a hot potato. If your organization is not physically located in the community, you will be met with a lot of resistance if you don't include the stakeholders. We don't have to come to you, you have to come to us, because this is where we live and this is where we work, and that wasn't happening.
Is race also an issue that you see here? I mean, this was mentioned in the film.
Right.
Steve is white. He's
Right.
working in a Black community.
Right.
How does that complicate issues?
He's an outsider. His skin color tells him that. There are a number of layers that you want to think about when you're going into the community, including race, socioeconomic status. There are a number of insider, outsider ways that a community can look at you. And then, so how do you really relate? And if you don't fit, what do? You still have a dream of helping this community. You still have a dream of planting trees. How do you share that? How do you bring a community alongside?
So how would you suggest working alongside the community? I mean, we see in the film, again, when they brought in a community advisor to figure out what was going to work in Ward 8 and what it was that they needed.
Right.
Is that a must? Do you have to absolutely use somebody from the community in order to make these projects successful?
One of the greatest moments, I thought, was when he brought a team out, and one of the women in the film says, "How could we make you feel safe?" And she shows how the trees should be planted along the pathway, not bunched up, but the way that she would feel safe with the trees, or the way she thinks the trees make the community feel safe. Great moment.
It would be better like if they had trees going down the line of a path instead of, around taking up space.
Yeah, but not like just straight together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not straight together, like spaced out.
Space it and tree right there.
But along the trail.
Because it get dark, nobody wouldn't walk, being so there's too many trees.
You can come in with all kinds of ideas from the outside, but there's a way that people use their space, the people who actually live there.
Exactly, and there's one moment when there's a woman is saying, this park is underutilized because it doesn't have shade and it's too hot in the summer, right? So how does she know? Maybe the park is used in the spring and the fall in certain ways. I mean, you just don't know unless you spend time with the community, observed the community, and understood how they indeed use the park.
If you had to give a recommendation, what is the key to making sustainable change?
To be committed. And I think sustainable change actually happens with the people in those communities. So I think the people in the communities can use our outside help, but in the end, if you're not building capacity and you're not helping those communities to help themselves, I'm not sure if it's sustainable. So always thinking about how you can teach and how you can learn in a community, but working with what works and working with people who are there. That's how you make change.
First question is making sure that whatever is done collaboratively.
Exactly.
Because our thing is that we just want to know what's going on in our
Sure.
parks.
If you see somebody out here digging a tree,
So we can all make sure that things are followed up on and work together to make sure the things we find out are happening. It's a tag team.
Okay.
It may not go in the direction that you want to go, and that's okay. And it may take a completely different turn, and that's where you're learning, right? But don't think that you have all the answers. Know that the community has its own answers. And I think that if you are willing to work side by side with the community, that you'll foster change.
Cherie, thank you so much for your insights on how to make communities, organizations, and these big ideas more sustainable.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.